Have you ever felt so alone that you'd ask a stranger to play the most important role in your life? Today's story will remind you that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness create the biggest ripples in someone's world. Welcome to Ripple of Goodness, where we share stories that restore your faith in humanity. The autumn rain drummed against the glass walls of Morrison Industries headquarters as Sarah Mitchell hurried through the revolving doors. She was running late for her interview, her resume clutched tightly against her chest to protect it from the downpour. As the newest applicant for the executive assistant position, she knew first impressions mattered. What she didn't know was that her life was about to change in the most unexpected way. Sarah had barely stepped into the gleaming marble lobby when she felt a small tug on her coat. She looked down to find a girl, no older than 8, with dark curls plastered to her forehead from the rain. The child's expensive school uniform was soaked, and her brown eyes held a sadness that seemed far too heavy for someone so young. "Excuse me, ma'am," the girl whispered, her voice barely audible above the lobby's ambient noise. Sarah knelt down, instinctively checking if the child was hurt. "Are you okay, sweetie? Are you lost?" The girl shook her head, glancing nervously toward the elevators where security guards stood. "I'm Emma Morrison. My dad owns this building." She paused, her small hands fidgeting with her backpack straps. "I have a really big favor to ask you." Sarah felt her heart squeeze. She'd heard about Jonathan Morrison, the CEO whose business acumen was only matched by his reputation as a workaholic. She'd never heard anything about his family. "What is it, honey?" Emma's eyes filled with tears. "My school is having a Mother's Day play next week. All the other kids have their moms coming, but mine. My mom passed away 2 years ago." Her voice cracked. "The teacher said I don't have to participate, but I really want to. I practiced my lines every night." Sarah felt a lump forming in her throat. "Oh, sweetheart. Could you pretend to be my mom? Just for the play?" Emma's words came out in a rush. "I know it's weird to ask a stranger, but I've asked everyone I know. My nannies always say no because they think my dad would be upset. My dad is always too busy with meetings. And I don't have any aunts or grandmas nearby." The desperation in that little voice shattered something in Sarah's chest. She thought about her own mother, who had passed away when Sarah was 16. She remembered how desperately she'd wanted her mom at her high school graduation, at her college acceptance celebration, at every milestone that followed. "When is it?" Sarah asked softly. Emma's face lit up with hope. "Next Thursday at 2 o'clock. At Riverside Elementary. Please, ma'am. I promise I won't tell anyone you're not really my mom. I just don't want to be the only one without someone there." Sarah checked her phone. Her interview was scheduled to start in 10 minutes. This job could change her financial situation, get her out of debt, give her stability. But looking at Emma's pleading eyes, she knew what mattered more. "I'll be there," Sarah promised. "What's your role in the play?" Emma's entire face transformed with joy. "I'm playing a flower. It's not a big part, but I have 2 lines, and we do a dance at the end." She threw her arms around Sarah's waist. "Thank you, thank you, thank you." As Emma pulled away, a stern voice echoed across the lobby. "Emma, what have I told you about wandering off?" Jonathan Morrison strode toward them, his tailored suit impeccable, his expression a mixture of frustration and concern. He was younger than Sarah expected, probably in his mid-30s, with tired eyes that suggested too many sleepless nights. "I'm sorry, Mr. Morrison," Sarah began, standing up. "I was just talking to me about the school play, Daddy." Emma interrupted, grabbing Sarah's hand. "This is my friend, and she's going to come watch me perform." Jonathan's expression softened slightly as he looked at his daughter, then hardened again as he turned to Sarah. "I appreciate your kindness to my daughter, but we have strict rules about strangers interacting with her." "I understand completely," Sarah said calmly. Emma was just excited about her upcoming performance. "I should go. I have an interview." "You're here for the assistant position?" Jonathan's eyebrows rose. "Yes, sir. I'm Sarah Mitchell." He glanced at his daughter, who was still clutching Sarah's hand, then back at Sarah. Something unreadable crossed his face. "Come with me. We'll conduct the interview now." The interview itself was a blur. Jonathan asked standard questions, but Sarah noticed him watching how Emma, who had insisted on sitting in the corner of the office during the interview, kept sneaking glances at Sarah with a smile that as Sarah was leaving, Emma pressed a small piece of paper into her hand. On it was written the school's address, and "Please come. Love, Emma," with a hand-drawn flower. Thursday arrived faster than Sarah expected. She'd gotten the job, which should have been her primary focus during that week. Instead, she found herself shopping for a nice dress to wear to a second grader's school play and practicing her surprised face for when Emma performed her 2 lines. Riverside Elementary's auditorium was packed with parents. Sarah found a seat near the back, feeling like an imposter among real families. But when Emma's class came on stage, and Sarah saw the little girl scanning the audience anxiously, she stood up and waved. The relief and pure happiness on Emma's face was worth every awkward moment. Emma delivered her 2 lines perfectly, her voice clear and proud. During the final dance, she kept looking back at Sarah, her smile never fading. After the play, Emma ran to Sarah, hugging her tightly. "You came. You really came. I promised, didn't I?" Sarah brushed a curl from Emma's forehead. "Miss Mitchell." Jonathan's voice came from behind them. He looked different, less rigid somehow. "Thank you for being here. I tried to reschedule my meetings, but Dad had a really important meeting," Emma said loyally. Though Sarah caught the flash of disappointment, Jonathan knelt beside his daughter. "Emma, I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but I'm glad Miss Mitchell was here for you." He looked up at Sarah, and she saw something raw in his expression. Gratitude, regret, and perhaps the beginning of understanding. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give isn't money or success, but simply showing up for someone who needs us. Sarah's small act of kindness didn't just fill a seat in an auditorium. It reminded a lonely little girl that she mattered, and it opened a closed heart to the possibility that maybe, just maybe, it was time to let someone in. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Ripple of Goodness for more stories that remind us of the good in this world. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that kindness still exists. Until next time, keep spreading those ripples.